I will tell you, it does look like the police interceptors are backing off a little bit, but that's because I guess we're approaching Fort Lauderdale at this point. Copy that.
Good afternoon, folks. JB here with you live in the Stream Center with this feed from NBC South Florida. This is a high-speed pursuit of a rider on an ATV, and this is live from I-95 northbound. And we're about to get to an interesting part in this pursuit. Let's go back full screen here. And I mentioned an interesting section of this pursuit because they are about to come across Fort Lauderdale Hollywood International Airport. I-95 runs right next to the airport, and there's a lot of air traffic, of course, in the airspace next to the airport. Oh, okay, so now that might actually get avoided now that the ATV rider has
Guys, he is
gotten
exiting
off the interstate.
95. I'll get you a street in one moment.
So you can hear some of the chopper traffic from NBC South Florida.
Westbound now.
And there you can see he made a sharp
Correct,
left turn. And now the ATV rider is heading westbound. It would appear on, we're tracking this on flight radar. This is Sterling
Correct,
Road.
westbound.
Westbound on Sterling Road, I believe. Difficult to say exactly how fast he's going. Obviously slowing down there, weaving through traffic. Again, this is a live feed from Hollywood, Florida now, crossing out of Miami into Hollywood, Florida. And so viewer discretion is advised. We do not see any police cruisers on the ground in pursuit of the ATV. However, law enforcement is there. Actually, for the first time here on this stream, we now see a police vehicle in direct pursuit of the ATV rider. There's also 4 helicopters in the air total monitoring this. I believe at least 2 are television choppers. 3 of the 4 helicopters in pursuit are television choppers. The 4th one is with Miami-Dade police. And so as we cross over into certain areas, the feed is going to go black as the helicopter reestablishes connection. Oh, and then it appears the ATV rider has made a U-turn. The signal is going in and out. And now it would appear crossing back now the other way. Hopefully we get a stable signal, and probably with the chopper now pivoting and circling
And he just
around.
did a U-turn. He's going eastbound now, right underneath us.
So it would appear that the ATV rider has now doubled back and is, yes, now heading eastbound. And traveling, as you can see, clearly at a high rate of speed. Back in 30 seconds. Stand by for updates.
All right, guys, it looks like he's going northbound. Nope, northbound. Northbound 95.
JB here with you in the Stream Center, folks, and this is now northbound I-95 in Hollywood, Florida. And again, as we noted, now that the ATV rider is back northbound on I-95, they're coming across the airspace of Fort Lauderdale Hollywood International Airport. Curious to see if the 4 helicopters in the air, 3 TB helicopters, 1 law enforcement chopper, curious to see if they're going to have to maneuver west and get actually away from I-95 and away from Fort Lauderdale Hollywood International Airport. But this is, again, live. As we engage a new digital audience, I'll have to remind you every so often, viewer discretion is advised, with this being a live feed of a police pursuit. We'll monitor this closely, and as we get new information from NBC South Florida, we'll report it here on stream. We're live from the Stream Center in South Florida.
And these desks, I'll catch up in a minute. We're just crossing the runways right now.
There you can hear some traffic from the chopper as they're talking back and forth with the newsroom. So they do have to navigate this very carefully because I-95 runs right next to the airport. And of course, you do not want to interfere with any aircraft that are taking off or landing at a major airport in South Florida. So now the feed goes black, and this feed going black might be due in part to, and we might have some signal interference here, might be due in part to, again, them navigating near the airport. And you can see now that we are at a distance. So the feed will go black here and there. Let's get some of the, while we're going to get some obvious signal interference here, let me point out some of the obvious things. We do not know who the rider of this ATV is. We do not know how long this pursuit has been going on, and we do not know why the rider of this ATV is eluding authorities and ignoring signs to pull over. Officers are keeping their distance. It's a tactic that we see quite often in high-speed pursuits. Of course, you want to bring this to an end as without incident, without accident. So officers are in pursuit, but keeping a distance.
And it does look like he's exiting 95. Let's see what he does.
All right, let's go back full screen. Off of I-95, and I believe, yes, we are now officially north of the airport. So the airport is no longer a complication, but you can clearly see that the ATV rider is ignoring all street lights and just making turns and weaving in and out of traffic as he sees fit. And now it looks like he's doubling back.
Southbound 95. He's getting back on 95, head southbound. Or not. Stand by. Stand by, he's doing a U-turn, going right underneath us.
So on the on-ramp to I-95 southbound, he has now turned around and is now going against traffic.
All right, he's headed northbound. I believe this is just off of 95, going back to that same road. All right, he's going against traffic right now, guys. What is happening right? All right, yeah, he's going against traffic. Guys, this is on 95. He's on the southbound lanes going northbound at this point.
Signal interference.
Yeah, but just so you know, he's on the southbound lanes, okay?
And now the game of
All
Frogger
right,
begins.
he's going southbound, southbound.
As he crosses over these lanes. And
Or
once
not.
again,
Up, he's ditching the bike. All right, Vance, he did stop. All right, he's going against traffic again towards us. All right, guys, he is on the opposite side of 95, just so you know.
This is near I-95 and Davie Boulevard. Again, I have to point this out repeatedly for our stream audience. This is a live feed. Viewer discretion is advised with a high-speed police pursuit of an ATV rider here in South Florida going against traffic, against the flow of traffic. The traffic that you're seeing whizzing by is the northbound traffic on I-95. The rider is going in the southbound direction, back in the direction of the airport.
And so you guys know, he is in the express lanes at this point.
There's a lot of aerial maneuvering going around with these 4 helicopters, 3 of them with local TV stations, 1 of them with law enforcement, monitoring it on Flight Radar 24. This is also quite dizzying for the officers in pursuit on the ground. The ATV has crossed over into express lanes, going against the flow of traffic, has gotten off the interstate, back on the interstate twice now. Again, there you can see one officer in that.
And just a heads up, guys, he's in the left express lane at this point. I don't even think there is an emergency lane. And we'll catch up with him in a moment. Yeah, he keeps going underneath us.
Just decided to check with our friends at NBC South Florida, see if there's any details on the identity of this ATV rider, or at the very least, when this began. This got alerted to our newsroom that as choppers were in the air, there was a high-speed pursuit of an ATV rider. So we don't know if this has been going on for hours, or the feed came into the WFLA newsroom a little bit before noon.
All right, guys, he's crossing into traffic now. Vance, he's turning back to the south.
All right. For those keeping score at home, back northbound. And in the emergency lane on the right.
Approaching Sunrise Boulevard, guys. Southbound 95, approaching Sunrise. All right, guys, exiting 95 on Sunrise. Let's see if he takes it or he goes back on.
And you hear the comment there if he's going to go back on, because this has now been repeated behavior with this rider.
All right,
getting
he's
off the interstate,
westbound
then
Sunrise
popping on.
Boulevard now, off 95.
Let's see if this is just a tactic or if he's actually going to stay on Sunrise here. This is now eastbound on Sunrise Boulevard in Hollywood, Florida. Not too far away from the beach. You go east a few more miles and you are at the Atlantic Ocean. Really picking up speed here. Once again, hello to our stream audience joining us on multiple platforms. JB here with you in the Stream Center. Again, viewer discretion is advised. This is a live feed coming from NBC South Florida, and this is a high-speed pursuit of a ATV rider. You can see now that we are off the interstate and now somewhere off of Sunrise Boulevard. Now
That's Northwest 10th Court he just passed, guys, just so you know.
Appears to be heading southbound. And apologies, I got crossed up. I believe that we are heading northbound now. Yes, did get crossed up. This is in the northbound direction. Appears to be in the area of Roosevelt Gardens.
Passing Northwest 26th Street.
Northwest 26th Street is the updated address. You know, I'm reading a lot of your comments, and you can get my attention in the comment section using hashtag KJB, whether it's on Facebook Live or on YouTube Live. You know, what's unique about this, people asking about spike strips. Could, if, of course, the rider goes in a somewhat predictable path, could spike strips be put out? Oh, and
all right, guys, looks like this is it.
Let's go full screen. And just like that, the ATV rider pulls off on the side of the road, gets tackled to the ground by a South Florida officer, and is being taken into custody. But we were just about to start having a conversation about ways that you could bring this to an end without incident, and it would appear that the rider decided to give himself up. Don't know if that's a situation where the ATV was running low on fuel, or if the rider just began to accept the inevitable that they were not going to be able to escape. Officers were always in pursuit. Even though they weren't in frame, they're always in pursuit. You had the law enforcement chopper in the air every step of the way.
Guys, so you know this is Northwest 31st Ave, just before Oakland Park Boulevard.
Helmet is off of the suspect. It will be up to NBC South Florida as to how much they want to zoom in. I've always wondered how these conversations go now. The officers obviously have their suspect in custody. And you can see clearly that they're having a conversation here. Now it looks like they might be helping him up. They'll clearly, without a doubt, they'll go through the ATV to make sure that they collect everything that
Copy that.
He was riding
on
with.
Telemundo.
But you can see that they're having a conversation there. I've always been curious as to what that conversation is like after an extended chase. Go back full screen.
Copy that. I got oh. Okay. CVS Pharmacy. And it's right before the CVS Pharmacy. There's also some houses. No, this is Martin Luther King Jr. Boulevard, so it's 36th and Oakland Park. I'm sorry, 31st Ave and Oakland Park. 31st Ave. Correct.
You can see that the arresting officer is pointing.
Copy that. You just let me know once I'm clear.
Now it appears that he is going through the pockets of the arrested individual. Some in our some in our comment section
We're clear, bro. Thank you.
are saying, "Wow, looks young." There you see some of the other air traffic.
We have a little bit, you know. We're still good right now, but all right, we're clear now, Gabby. Thank you.
And just like that, Chopper heads back to base. You know, so often we talk about these pursuits and then we never actually find out as to, you know, what this person was wanted for, why this person was eluding authorities. Hopefully we get some updated information out of South Florida as to why there was a person going at a high rate of speed on an ATV on I-95 and refusing to pull over. But clearly reckless driving is going to be one of the many charges that this person faces. We didn't get an idea as to you know, how old this person was or any obvious identifying characteristics. The camera just didn't zoom in enough when they actually made the arrest. So that's going to do it for our live stream here momentarily. Updates on WFLA.com, the WFLA app. As soon as we get in information about this story that we can share, perhaps we get some clarity, perhaps we get some updates. It'll all be on WFLA.com, the WFLA app. Thank you so much for joining us, folks. This has been a breaking news stream, an ATV chase in South Florida, an ATV rider in a high-speed pursuit. We'll see you next time from the Stream Center. Be well.